Hi, book nerds. I'm Miranda, and I'm the author of Fracture, which came out in 2012, and Hysteria, which came out last year. And my most recent book, which just came out in February, is called Vengeance. And Vengeance is actually the sequel to Fracture. So, Jean invited me here today to talk a little bit about Fracture and Vengeance. And she asked me about the most significant change between books one and book two, and also if there was a character I really enjoyed getting to know. And I thought these questions were perfect and really went hand in hand because for me, the most significant change between Fracture and Vengeance is the characters and their relationships. Fracture is about a 17-year-old girl named Delaney, and it's very much her story. In Fracture, she falls through the ice of Falcon Lake and she's trapped there for 11 minutes before being rescued by her best friend, Decker. And she recovers from a coma 6 days later, and she discovers that she can sense when someone's about to die. But she doesn't know whether she's just drawn to this or is causing it because people seem to be dying in her place. So Fracture is very much her story and her journey and discovering what's happening around her, what happened to her, and what she can do going forward. Vengeance is Decker's story. In Fracture, we can only see him through Delaney's eyes, and everyone kind of sees him as the hero because he rescued her. But for Decker, he also blames himself. He's the one who sent her out on the ice in the first place. And I think if you told the characters in Fracture that there's a curse to Falcon Lake, they wouldn't have believed you at that point. But Vengeance is very much about that. The story of Vengeance is that people start whispering that there's a curse in Falcon Lake. And the thing is that all these characters have been seriously changed by the events in Fracture. Their relationships have changed. The way they see themselves has changed. And for me, that was the most significant difference. The way they view their world, what they are willing to believe, and what they see in each other. I loved getting to write from Decker's perspective. For me, he's the character I most enjoyed getting to know over the course of two different books. And I really liked seeing the world filtered through his eyes as well. Delaney is a little bit on the outskirts of their group of friends at the beginning of Fracture. And through Decker's perspective, I felt like I could really see other sides to all these characters because he's more central to this group of friends. And I also loved seeing Delaney through his eyes. Decker is by no means perfect. He's very flawed. He makes mistakes. But Vengeance is his story. And it is the idea that maybe the lake is cursed. People start wondering, if you're at this place and there was a miracle that Delaney survived in Fracture, but all these other people are dying in her place. And what happens in a place like that? What has to happen to make people believe in something more? So I hope you guys enjoy it. Thanks so much for having me, and happy reading.